to the season Millennial. This is an early recording. I woke up early this morning. Right now it's around 7:28 a.m. Pacific time. And I saw this news just an hour ago when I got up that Netflix, of all the different studios and companies that were bidding on Warner Brothers Discovery purchase, won the bid. And it's a shocker because they weren't like the clear favorite in many cases because of whatever relationships they have or the amount they were putting in. But it seems like Netflix and the article I'm looking at right now is Netflix to acquire Warner Brothers following the separation of Discovery Global for a total enterprise value of $82.7 billion, equity value of $72 billion. That's huge. That's actually the largest dollar amount bid that was done between the three major companies that were kind of bidding this last time around in mid-November, which would have been Comcast, Paramount, and Netflix. I guess everybody was assuming it may have been Paramount because the Ellisons, Larry Ellison, has a great relationship with Trump, and the administration actually has been pretty vocal about saying that they would like a shift in the entertainment industry, and having that relationship with Ellison, it seemed like they may have had that kind of a support to, kind of allow them to move things quicker. And at the same time, the word on the street was that the Saudis, Saudi royal family, or some members of the government were backing either it was Comcast or Paramount to put large sums of money to really step up that offer to make it a lot more enticing in the eyes of Warner Brothers Discovery. But Zaslav, I don't know if he has a relationship with Netflix or what it is, but they're now in the definitive contract stage. Now, what does that mean? It's a 100% contract agreement that they're between Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery, that they're going into an agreement. Now, when I say 100%, it just means that for whatever reason shouldn't fall through. There is a clause in that contract apparently that if Netflix for whatever reason was to back out, there is a $5 billion penalty that they have to pay to Warner Brothers Discovery for backing out. So I doubt that that's going to be the case. Now, what does this mean for the entertainment industry? This is a huge shakeup because Warner Brothers is one of the two major studios, if not the biggest one there is in Hollywood. It's Warner Brothers and Disney, and they have the biggest studio lots in LA and Hollywood. Going to 100% streaming platform. Now, there are going to be people out there that are going to be like, hey, this is great news. We're going to get all the shows we want, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter series. We're going to get the Big Bang Theory, Friends, the DCEU. There's just so much that comes with Warner Brothers that can potentially just be on the platform. Now, where I see an issue with this, where I wasn't necessarily rooting for Netflix, is that I'm a huge collector of physical media, 4K Blu-rays and Blu-rays. Netflix is not known for releasing any kind of 4K UHD and Blu-ray discs. What's going to happen to that? Are we going to still get a physical copy of whatever the next movie is that's coming out? If there's going to ever be a cinema or is it a theater release of a Game of Thrones? If there's going to be another DCEU movie, potentially DCEU movie, or what does that look like? Is that actually going to be released in physical media? So that's huge. And another thing is they don't do theater releases. And I think they've recently kind of did the whole Frankenstein for 1 week, and they're going to do the final episode of Stranger Things season 5 in the theaters, but we're talking a very short window, and from my understanding that's the bare minimum in the eyes of the Academy Awards to basically qualify for essentially winning an award. I don't care for the awards at all. I'm purely for the experience. So this could be a huge change in how we're going to consume a lot of our more important, I guess, entertainment segment, whether it's going to be shifting from TV to, or from the theater now into TV. Now, another thing is, now me being a DC fan at heart, what does this mean? Is I'm the word, like, I was paying attention to what was going on the last couple of days. It seems like that Mike DeLuca may have taken over the DCEU segment of Warner Brothers and kind of taken it away from James Gunn. Does that mean that the return of Zack Snyder is imminent, or is it just simply kind of shift in how they're going to be doing things? So I am really looking forward to if we could potentially have a return of Zack Snyder for him to complete his Justice League 2, 3. But more importantly, I like, team up stuff is great. I feel like that was a thing of about 10, 15 years ago. I really think we need to give Ben Affleck his Batfleck movie. And Henry Cavill is our definitive Superman for our generation. I could speak for millennials. And he needs his Man of Steel too. So, like, those are things that I hope could come out of this. Now, I don't know if Netflix is, I know he has a close relationship with Zack Snyder, but what does this mean? Does that mean, like, they have something in mind? There is going to be some form of partnership? And something what a lot of people that are not into the comic industry don't understand this is that there's no, like, main timeline stuff. There's, like, the whole comic genre had Elseworld events. So I'm all for keeping, you know, what James Gunn is doing, and I feel like he's targeting a much younger audience, and it's a little bit more on the goofy side, and it's reminiscent of, like, his days and time over at Marvel, is to essentially continue that style, the whole joke kind of buddy up. I mean, I don't want to pun the whole thing, but I feel, in my eyes, it's more like a goofy verse kind of a setup. But hey, it has its own target audience, and continue that and allow the people who enjoy that and to continue go watching that and follow those stories. Like if there's Supergirls coming out, and you know, he obviously still hasn't introduced his own Batman in his universe, but then bring the more you know, realistic, I don't know, like grounded, dark, I feel like a version of Zack Snyder is in a way comic accurate, where it's gods amongst men versus like buddy up cop joke setup, where it was kind of, or is unfortunately the way it's going forward with James Gunn. But aside from my personal taste, it seems like it's not profitable right now, and that's another thing. Like, I'm sure Netflix is gonna come and open the books and be like, hey, you guys have marketed that, for example, this recent Superman movie that was out over the summer with David Cornswet. It was basically being pushed as a profitable movie, but word on the street is it's actually lost $42 million because of the overhead costs and everything that they have to actually register. I don't know if it was in England or where they were actually did the filming. They had the way they had to file for the taxes kind of showed the overhead costs, so it didn't quite add up to being profitable. And circling back to why I think there is going to be a change in that is because a lot of people might not like the art style where Zack Snyder had, but his movies were profitable. They were actually making money. They just weren't making $1.5 billion at the box office like you know, the Avenger movies were, but they were making 700 million, 800 million. A couple of them cracked the $1 billion mark, but they were running on like movies that were filmed at $150 million or $200 million, and they made like $800 million. Like the Suicide Squad, a bit of a controversial movie, but it made money. They all made money. And I think it was really the studio just kind of getting in the mix, saying, oh, we want that Endgame money, we want that Infinity War money, and that's what caused the issue where there was a lot of changes, and it just never added up. And I feel like that era is done and gone, because Marvel itself isn't even getting those kind of numbers anymore. We're probably not going to see those, but knowing that this change is coming, I'm going to keep an eye out on what kind of announcements we're going to see from Netflix on how they're planning on doing this. Like we're talking about the HBO Max platform. Is that just going to dissolve and be in Netflix, or are they going to keep it as a separate app? Knowing Netflix, they probably want to, or kind of comparing it to the Disney Plus app, they're probably going to make it into a segment in the actual Netflix streaming platform itself. So I'm looking forward to see what this looks like. It's not something that's going to come to fruition this month or even in the next 2-3 months. Usually these kind of transactions, and being on the scale they are and the kind of approvals and things they need to go through, might take up to about a year. So we're probably looking at this realistically becoming a reality by middle to late 2026. But then it's going to cause a lot of talk about what's potentially to come. So stay tuned. I want to share as much details as I get it as it comes along. But this is exciting, good or bad, nonetheless, in the entertainment industry. So see you guys in the next episode.